Hello, this is your Llanelli News with your anchor, Josh Thomas.
Hello, I'm Josh Thomas and this is your Llanelli News. Carmarthenshire County Council is looking to invest £7 million in a new care facility for older people in Llanelli. The development forms part of the Council's capital investment programme to update and improve care provision in Carmarthenshire. The facility would provide state-of-the-art care for the people of Llanelli and would be developed to replace existing outdated care homes. One such care home is St Paul's, where facilities, whilst meeting statutory requirements, cannot meet the modern-day requirements of people in need of residential care. At present, St Paul's has only 20 beds, with only 7 permanent residents, a situation that has not improved since 2010 when the council first discussed closing the facility. The closure would allow significant funding to be allocated to the proposed new care home, the plans for which would otherwise be jeopardised. In terms of St Paul's, social care managers are working closely with residents and families, as well as staff and union representatives to plan for the future. There is capacity in other residential care homes in the area which could accommodate residents. Over 3,000 of the lowest paid council staff in Carmarthenshire are set to get a pay rise. The move, agreed yesterday by the leader and executive board, will mean a 4.56% increase for 3,042. It would cost around £315,000 to implement the pay award, which would start from this April if approved by the council. The request for officers to look into increasing pay for the council's lowest earners comes at the same time as savings of £30 million need to be found over the next 3 years. At the moment, Carmarthenshire's budget makes a provision for a 1% pay award for all staff. Officers have been asked to remove Scale Point 7 from the pay model from this April, thereby giving those staff a 4.56% increase. The cost of this is now being reflected in the budget proposals, which are due to be discussed by the Council on February the 19th. A petition for the resignations of Carmarthenshire County Council Chief Executive Mark James and Council Leader Kevin Madge has been set up. This follows the Wales Audit Office's judgment of unlawful payments with the Chair of the Public Accounts Committee, Darren Miller AM, describing the activities as deeply disturbing, and follows Plaid Cymru AM, Rodri Glenn Thomas, and MP Jonathan Edwards, calling on senior CAM CC managers to resign. The petition asks for your name and address and can be signed on our website. The Plaid Cymru Group on Carmarthenshire County Council are holding an extraordinary meeting to discuss the possibility of holding a vote of no confidence in the executive board of the council. Sean Rees, press officer for Plaid Cymru Llanelli, said that the meeting is being held for the Plaid County Council as opposition group on Monday evening in order to discuss the matter further. The meeting will discuss presentations of motions and no confidence. Carmarthenshire County Council has also issued a response to the Wales Audit Office's report, which can be viewed on our website. Sometime between Saturday the 18th and Tuesday the 21st of January 2014, an attempt was made to gain entry to a local hairdresser known as Cuts Company. If you have any information, then the police are urging you to contact PC 695 Jones via the non-emergency number 101. On Friday the 31st of January, Llanelli celebrity Hugh Edwards attended Parc y Scarlets to open the newly developed Heritage Trail. Our correspondent Howell reports.
This week, Parc y Scarlets added a new feature to the stadium with lottery-funded Heritage Trail. The focus of the new Heritage project, based at Parc y Scarlets, is to inspire, safeguard and promote the great heritage and history of Scarlets rugby and its intrinsic links with Llanelli and people across the county. The trail will promote awareness of the link between the local history and Llanelli Rugby Club in the form of a timeline spanning 140 years of rugby, industrial, local and national heritage. The walk-through centre at Parc y Scarlets will provide a range of learning opportunities and experiences from 1872 onward, using audio, visual and interactive software and methods to tell the story of Llanelli and its world-famous rugby club. Hugh Edwards was on hand to officially open the trail.
Mae ddyle holl gymuned Llanelli fod yn ymfalchio yn yr hyn sydd wedi digwydd yma heddiw, a'r hyn sydd wedi gyflawni. Mae'n rhaid i unrhyw gymuned yn y marn ni ymfalchio yn y gorffennol. A'r hyn sydd yn digwydd heddiw yw bod ni'n dathlu yw'r gair cywir yn tyre, dathlu a chydnabod cyfraniad gorffennol I hefyd. A dwi'n llongyfarch pawb sydd ynghlwm ar fenter hwn. Mark, you've been too generous, My mother is going to kill you at the end of the event. I'll tell you that for nothing. But it's lovely to be here. It's a fantastic step forward. Not just for this great club, and it is a great club, a club that I like to talk about wherever I go in the world, but it's a great step forward too for this town. I'm a strong believer, I know all of you are strong believers, in celebrating our heritage. And our heritage comes in so many different shapes and sizes and forms and tones and textures. But the game of rugby is such a significant contributor to what we are today that it would be wrong not to celebrate it in this really prominent and creative way. So the big thing for me to say at the start is, well done, and congratulations to everyone who's been involved. To those who've contributed to the funding, of course we say thank you, but there's a vision behind it, and I applaud the vision. It's a great vision to have. You're taking pride in the past. Without taking pride in the past, you can't face the future with confidence. I'm convinced of that. And what can we say about the club today? Well, Mark, of course, and all the team, I'm very familiar now the last few weeks. I've been glued to my documentary series on the BBC, done by my very good friends at Green Bay Media in Cardiff, and John Gerrard is here today, and Winford Jones, a very good friend of mine. I think that's been a very instructive series. Can I say to you, as someone who's put in bids to many organisations and clubs for fly on the wall documentaries over the years, not many have the courage to do it. And those who do have the courage to do it say something about themselves. That they are open, that they are organisations that are not afraid to be scrutinised, and that they are confident. And the great thing about the series, I hope this isn't wrecked in Programme 4, the great thing about the series is that it's shown energy, determination, and a great spirit. I don't need to say to anyone here that we follow the turbulence in certain parts of Welsh rugby with a great deal of interest. And to have to manage a business like this in that climate is not easy. So it's been a great thing for us to see. And the good thing about that, of course, in this digital age of ours, is that it's not restricted to an audience in Wales. There are thousands of Welsh people in England, Scotland and Northern Ireland watching the same programme, able to access it. Very keenly following it. And I've got 3 boys at home who've done the same thing. They want to be part of the story. Great thing to do, and a good reflection on the club. So I see today, if you like, as the latest step, I hope this doesn't sound too grand, in the cultural reawakening of Llanelli. Mae'n gam pwysig ymlaen o safbwynt adfywiad diwylliannol. And it started a few years ago. I think the work done at Llanelli Library has been exemplary. It's a terrific resource. Llanelli House right next to it just looks like a magnificent addition to our built heritage, but of course it's not an addition, it's always been there. But it's now in a state where it attracts people. This afternoon, in glorious sunshine, I was on Bellingwell Road. You missed that, did you?
Yes.
And we were unveiling a blue plaque there to one of the last toll gates in Llanelli, which was there in 1843 during the Rebecca riots. I think there are more blue plaques in Llanelli now per head of population and by geographical concentration than probably anywhere in the world. I'm responsible for a few of them myself. But what does it tell us? It tells us that we live in a community that is taking interest in its past and taking pride in its past. It's such an important thing. When a community forgets about its past and doesn't have any interest in it, it starts to wither. And I see this as a fantastic addition to that trend. Because you're not just telling the story as you've just heard. It's not just a magnificent sporting story. because it is that. It's a story of people and the kind of people who've performed on the field of play and the kind of people who've been around them and supported them, many thousands over the years. So we're celebrating all of those stories. And in doing that, we are creating an even better profile for this town. Not just for the club, but for the town. What the club has done here is a service and a contribution to the town. It'll draw more people in, more people will understand what we are, more people will pay attention and take an interest. All of those are unqualifiably good things. So that's my point. It's to say well done. And I hope that anyone who takes part in the trail, follows it, comes back and has another look, will appreciate the story and enjoy it. And more importantly, of course, tell other people about it. I'm being stared at on this wonderful display here by the incomparable Delmy Thomas. I have to say, I was said to this to Alan Gibbard earlier, his autobiography, which I picked up last year, one of the best things I've read in the last few years. It's a great book. So, it's the spirit of people like that that we are celebrating. My boys don't believe me when I keep on telling them, and I bore them to death by telling them, that I was actually there. I was actually there on the 31st of October 1972. I'll keep this bit of the speech for the old boys' dinner tonight. Okay? And John Geraint has failed badly in the task I set him when he started the dog, which was to magnify the images and find me in the crowd. Okay? John has failed. I'm not working with John ever again. Okay? But I was there on the day, and I'm saying that for a very simple reason. Lots of you were there on the day. That there are people all around the world who are very proud of their link with the club and with the town. And it is your task as a club to tap into that. You will find a ready audience out there. And what you've done today is take a big step on that path. So my task is to declare it open and to wish everyone well who explores the trail. And I'm going to formally declare it open in the language that Delmy would certainly prefer. Ac gyfeillio'r annwyl, mae'n bleser mawr gen I ddatgan bod y llwybr, bod y daith yn swyddogol ar agor. Pob llwyddiant I chi. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
St Clair's man has been fined £200 for the historic garage and store without planning permission. David Brown Humbles pleads guilty to command of magistrate court to the offence contrary to section 179 of the Television Planning Act 1998. Prosecution was brought to the March 2017. County Durham said in August 2012, County Council has no planning authority issued an enforcement notice relating to land lodged on the British Mountain. It was served to the Second Central Area of the Planning Act 1920 that it alleged Mr. Humbles had without planning permission and the two-storey garage outstored his land. No valid appeal was taken to remind the legend said that it could not be altered with a decision tension and its decision. Therefore, the County Council ordered to participate in the magistrate's court. Mr. Howells was fined £200 in order to be prosecuted and and while playing water, the British spent most of the first century before the children were seeking the weather that took place on the day. No weather update to your Howells in 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Josh. Hello, Howell here, back with your 7-day Saturday weather forecast. Wet start of the weekend, kicking off with a wet day on Friday with more yellow weather warnings. Then on Saturday, winds picking up with a high chance of a thunderstorm. Sunday will have small showers throughout the day with strong winds. On Monday, the showers will continue, but the wind will die down. Everything kicks off again on Tuesday with the rain and wind coming back strong and continuing throughout the rest of the week. That's your 7-day weather forecast. I've been Howell and Thomas. Have a great weekend.